Hello, good morning. It's Tuesday morning and I hope everyone's enjoying the content. We've got a problem with our camera. We had a 10-minute timeout on our first video, so I put it out in two segments. So hopefully you're enjoying the extra content. But we thought we'd give you a little update of the strategy, of business strategy on breeding ball pythons. And Jared and I spent some time yesterday just discussing our projects and how we can accelerate those projects by working with other breeders. And today we're going to talk about the Holy Grail project, and we're going to be talking about the DG Ultramel Clown project. So as you know, we've had some success on the Ultramel Clowns, but we want to get DG into there. Now we don't actually have any DG Ultramels in our collection, though we do have some wonderful DGs. So I decided to go on to Morph Market and we bid for a snake on the auctions, and I'll just show you the snake that we've just won on the bid. Just bear with me a second. So this is from Auto Pythons, which is just up the road from us in Fordingbridge. Tony Gator, he's produced this beautiful snake. It's a double het, pastel double het Ultramel DG, and she's 1400 grams. Now what I'll do is I'll go that way and you get a better picture of her. You can see her. She's carrying the two genetics that we'd like to bridge those projects, because we've got Ultramel Pied, we've got Ultramel Clowns, and we'd like to get the DG in both of those. So the strategy that we're adopting is we'll pick up the snake later this month, and then we'll put her in quarantine, and then once she's past quarantine we'll introduce her into our main collection, and then we'll build her from 1400 to say 2000 grams, and then we'll prepare her for the beginning of next season. Now the beautiful thing here is that we've got actually quite a few boys that we could put to her. Now the one that we're thinking, Jared, is the DG Pied boy. Now if we put the DG Pied boy to her, because he's big enough to breed, we could then produce some visual DGs that will be 50% het for Ultramel, and they will also be 100% het for Pied. Now with shed testing we can also then prove out the ones that are 50% het for Ultramel. We'll be able to find out the ones that are 100% through shed testing. So we'll end up with a visual DG with a double het Ultramel Pied, and that means we can get DG into the Ultramel Pied project. So that's the first step that we can do with that girl, and then the following year, if she's able to rebuild and then give us a clutch, we'll have our Ultramel Clown boy ready to go. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if he builds nicely. And then we could plug him into there, and then we'll end up with DG going into the Ultramel Clown, and we'll end up with shed testing. We'll be able to prove out that we're going to actually have some visual Ultramels, because she's het for Ultramel, and there'll be het for Clown, because he's 100% Clown, so that's 100% guaranteed, and 50% het for DG. Now through shed testing we'll prove out the ones that are 100% het for DG, and we'll keep those back. So now we've got a really serious building block to get both the DG into the Ultramel Pied and the Ultramel Clown projects, and therefore we'll end up with a three-way recessive, which are very powerful animals. So there's one little strategy, Jared. Now let's talk about your project and my project, which we're doing together, which we love so much, is the Holy Grail project. And I don't think I've actually shown anyone a picture of a Holy Grail. So shall I get a picture of a Holy Grail up, Jared, so we can show everyone what a Holy Grail looks like?
Sure.
And while we do that, Jared, do you want to just talk about the pickup that you just bought? And I think it was from a breeder based in Bromley. And is it what was the name of the breeder?
BNR.
BNR Reptiles, and it was
Brian
Stevens. And we bought a snake off him. Now I'm just gonna see if I can find the end goal of what we're trying to achieve, Jared, first of all.
Do you want me to show the snake we bought?
Yeah, if you show the snake we've bought to help us with this.
Here she is.
So
she is a cinnamon yellow belly clown, 100% het for lavender albino.
Okay, and why have we got her, Jared? What was the strategy for buying her to help us with our project?
So when we get her up to size, we can then put in Achilles to her. So is a pastel pied double het clown lavender.
Yep.
And the goal there would be to hit some pastel cinnamon yellow bellies, clown lavender clowns that are 100% het for pied. Bottom right.
Bottom right.
Third row up, I think.
Third row up. kilos. Here he is. So let's have a look and see how he's doing. You can see you can actually weigh him as well, because we want him to be at least 600-700 grams before he's ready to go. Let's get him out. Now he is brighter than the usual pastel pies, Jared.
That must be the Het Lavender.
Sorry?
Het Lavender and Het Clown will do that.
Yeah.
He's a nice boy though, and he eats really well.
Let's see how he's doing on the weight front. And we'll put that on there as well. So he's about coming up for a year old now. Now, believe it or not, when we went on to Morph Market, there's only 2 other breeders that are selling these, Jared, and they're very expensive. I think they come in at nearly £1,200 for this, maybe more in some places, at £1,800. So he's a pastel pied, beautiful example. And what's his weight, Jared?
465.
465, and we've got another 3 months before the beginning of the new season. And the strategy that we've got is that we will build him up, and actually eventually we'll plug him into this girl. Now this girl is about 400 grams that you're buying. Yeah. Now what are the odds when they're both ready to go? What will be the odds on actually hitting the Holy Grail? Now I need to show you a picture of a Holy Grail.
Well, we won't hit a Holy Grail from the start.
No.
What we'll hit is a Grail which has got codoms in it. There's 100% Het Pied, which hopefully a girl that we can then breed him back to.
So Justin Kubalka has produced a Holy Grail. You can see one there. That gives you an example of what we're trying to hit. I think they're stunning animals, Jared. Or is that a Grail?
That's a Grail.
That's a Grail. So that's a
That's
lavender.
the Lavender Clown. So we could hit that.
So that's what we could hit
with these 2 pairings.
Yeah.
And that'll be 100% Het Pied.
Okay, so we need to find a Holy Grail. Let me see if I can find a Holy Grail.
But it will also have cinnamon, and if you know what cinnamon does to lavender, it makes it very purple and really beautiful. So
absolutely, and there's a couple of other examples there of some living art. You can see if you put leopard into the Lavender Clown, look how beautiful that is, Jared. I'd love leopard to go in. And then you've got the really orange one there, so it wouldn't surprise me if there's OD and yellow belly going into that. I can't find, is that the Holy Grail there? Maybe that's the Holy Grail, because you can see it's a pied.
It's a Lavender Clown Pied, yeah, Holy Grail.
That's the Holy Grail. So when you hit the pieds, that's our end game with all the codoms. That's what we're aiming to do.
And that's a Lavender Clown Pied.
Yeah. Now we paid £400 for this girl, and plus shipping £60 with Ridgeway, and that should be coming hopefully in the next 4 or 5 weeks. Again, we put her into quarantine. Now she will take probably, let's say she's 400 now, she's had 1 year of development, she'll need another 2 years, so that gives our beautiful snake here plenty of time to get up to size, and then we can plug him in a couple of years and hopefully try and get the Grail project. So we have to be realistic with our goals. We've got to try and hit the double visual first, and then once we've hit the double visual, half of them will be Het for Pied.
Now it's quite easy to tell what's Het Pied.
We don't necessarily have to shed test, because we'll see the ringers and we'll see all the other markings on them, Het markings, but then we're in a really good position to hit the Holy Grail. And what we can do is we can actually then, by then, now if you look at 2 or 3 years down the line, we've got a whole army of triple hets that we're building. So let's pull those out and show you the strategy that we're adopting. We're making sure the building blocks are moving in the right direction at the right time. So let's go and have a quick look at those, Jared, if you want to slip through, and let's see how they're doing. So we've got the triple hets, which I took some out and put them into the grommet. You know.
Yeah. So this is the pastel triple het. So she's Het Dreamskull, Het Clown. She's in shed right now, but I'll show you her. She's really light coloured with lots of blushing and ringers that are starting to come through right there.
Yeah,
she's in shed, so I won't get her out. She's in shed.
Yeah, okay.
This one here is a female Het Dreamskull, Het Clown.
Yeah.
She took a while to get onto food, but she's eating food now.
Yeah. The good news is they need 2 or 3 years to get up to size anyway, because that's the next building part of the project.
And then down here, I'll squeeze down there. We've got that's a boy, pastel Het Dreamskull, Het Clown. That'll probably be made available soon. Another boy.
The girls on this side, Jared, I put them over here.
Oh, you put them over there.
So come on this side. We're just charging up our ultrasound. We've been doing some ultrasound, and we will give you some results on the ultrasound.
So there's one here,
yeah.
one female, and another female here.
let's just bring them out, Jared, see what they look like and see how they're doing size-wise.
So there's 4 girls, one's got a pastel, the other 3 don't, which we actually quite like.
Yeah. So why don't we just weigh those out and just see how they're doing.
That one is 295. A lot of them took a while to get started on food,
Yeah.
but now they're eating well.
Yeah.
240, so they're all 240 plus.
So these triple hets are going to be very valuable, Jared, aren't they, in a couple of years? And just put some extra bedding in there for her. Probably give her some extra water as well. So they don't look special at the moment, but you can see what they will produce, Jared. They will produce.
You can see the hets coming through. Like,
do you want to show that off and just see how that's looking?
if you look at the belly there, see if I can do it one-handed.
Yeah.
You can see the really black lines and almost the whites coming up there.
Yeah.
So that's what pied will do. It's almost like it's trying to come up as a white pied already.
Yeah.
And the black lines are called train tracks. You can see them down either side.
Yeah.
That's a really good sign of pied.
Yeah.
The lavenders, you can see the lighter colours, so there's lots of blushing in here. You can see the whites that go around the alien heads,
Okay.
and that's a good sign of lavender.
Yeah. And we don't need to shed test these because we know that the parents are all visuals. All 3 of them were visuals.
And then the very white bottoms there, that's a sign of clown.
So I think that these triple hets are going to be very valuable to us, Jared.
And they're all guaranteed 100% of everything.
Yeah. So we've got 4 of them, haven't we? 4 girls?
4 girls, one's got a pastel, the other 3 are normal.
So let's talk about statistics then. Let's say that in, say, a couple of years these are ready to go. But obviously if we've got this new girl coming in with the boy who you've got producing a grail that is het for pied,
Male.
male, let's say we hit a male, if we were to plug that male into these girls, what are the odds of hitting the Holy Grail?
Well, you'd have a 50% chance of getting a lavender,
Yeah.
a 50% chance of getting a clown, and then a 25% chance of getting a pied. So if you times all those together,
Okay, so it's 1 in 16 then. So if you take 50% times 50% is a quarter, and a quarter of a quarter is a 16th. So there'll be a 1 in 16 chance of hitting the Holy Grail.
and 4 girls, giving us 6 eggs each.
Let's say they give us 8 eggs each to make up my maths a little bit easier.
Okay.
And also,
That'd be a great first year for them, but
let's say we get 8 eggs each and we just build them up and get them ready, and it all goes well. 4 lots of 8. And let's say only 3 of them go to make the maths even easier for me. So 3 8s are 24, aren't they?
yeah.
Now let's say 4 go. Let's say 32.
Yeah, it
eggs.
makes it even easier.
Yeah.
'Cause it's half.
Let's say we get 32 eggs.
You should
in
have
that year.
2 Holy
So
Grails.
we'll get 2 Holy Grails out of 32 eggs, and then if we get a boy and a girl, everything will be then triple het, triple visual to triple visual. And
Plus
then,
all the codoms.
plus the codoms that we're going to be bringing in. Now we've got lots of extra codoms that are going into this project too, and we've got to factor that in. But to be able to hit the Holy Grail, now Holy Grails, Jared, are going for. Do you know what price they're going for at the moment?
I don't know if there's any for sale, is there?
I think they're.
Justin might be the only one.
Justin might be selling one, I think, and if he's selling one, that's likely to be somewhere close to $15,000 to $20,000, I would say, which is probably about 15 grand. I'll be surprised if it's less than 15. But I mean, that's a lot of money to come up with now to get the project to the next gear. But actually, by spending £400 this year,
Never mind.
sorry,
There's somebody called Isotope Exotics in Vancouver
yeah,
that's got a Holy Grail that's sold for $4,500.
$4,500.
Show it to you.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Is it a nice specimen?
It's lovely, yeah.
There we go.
That's
So-
really cheap for a triple visual.
That really is. But if Justin was selling it, I think you would be looking at $6,000. So they're actually not too bad, but they're beautiful snakes, aren't they, Jared? And
Yeah,
it's the
they're
beauty
gorgeous.
that we're after. We're not necessarily after the money. It's all about trying to build these projects and to do it with the best genetics that we can get. So I think the Holy Grail project for me is one that I really would look forward to hitting, and that would be fantastic, Jared. So we'd like to thank both the breeders for helping us on our journey, and we're looking forward to bringing those into the collection. So this is a good time of year to think about what you're doing in the future and how you're going to get there. And buying in 1 or 2 snakes every year can make a huge difference to the way in which we are producing, Jared. And at the moment it's a buyer's market. I mean, the prices are so good, and there's auctions to be looked at which you can do good deals on. So do have a look at your Morph Market, have a look at the auctions, see what comes up. But first of all, spend some time with yourself, your partner, if you've got one, just discussing the building blocks that you need and how you can bring about those projects. And I think if you do the planning and then you execute it by researching the snakes and connecting with the industry, then it can be done, Jared. And I think this is a prime opportunity to do that. So that was that one. Now moving on to the results of the ultrasounding today, Jared. Some good news and some bad news. Let's start with the bad news. Some of the girls that we thought were building have reabsorbed. So one of them is the here we couldn't find any follicles at all. In the end, we found some small follicles on Pistachio. We thought that she was building at 14 millimeters, but she's gone down to about 5 or 6 now, hasn't she?
If that, yeah,
And she's had a lock as well, but the locks came late, I think. So she's already decided to absorb, and then she decided to have sex after absorbing. So I think we're not going to get anything out of Pistachio this year. So that's ones we've come to realise. That's that one there. The other one that we checked, which was a little bit disappointing for us, which is a project that we were really looking forward to, is the DG Clown. Because the DG Clown's got a lot of eggs in her, but we went to check her out. She's had multiple locks. That's Harley Quinn.
She's still 12 mil.
She's bottle wrapping and building though, look, that's a good sign. And she's holding at 12 mil at the moment, which means that she's not reabsorbing, but she's not building particularly quick. Now it may be that we're a little bit excited about the project and we're expecting her to get to 15 to 18 by now. But I have seen girls go from 12 to 20 within 4 weeks, Jared. So we're not writing her off as not going for us, but we would love to get a DG Clown out of her. But I think what we'll do is we'll just carry on feeding her and breeding her as though she will go. And then if she doesn't go, we'll prepare her for next year, Jared, because next year is just around the corner. So that's that one. This is the good news one. Koji, Jared, let's talk about Koji. We got a pre-lay shed from her today. We decided just to check the size of her follicles, and they're off the screen. They were 45 millimeters. 4 weeks from pre-lay shed. She's due on the 9th of July, Jared. And you counted the number of eggs, Jared. As this is the thing about the ultrasound, is you can actually know how many eggs and how many slugs she's carrying.
Yeah.
We saw 1 slug, but we saw 5 good eggs.
At least there might have been 6.
There may be 6. So
they all sort of joined together.
Yeah, we know that we need 1 out of 8 chance of hitting the leopard DG Pied. So if she gives us 6 eggs, we still stand a chance of getting that leopard DG Pied. So that's the one that we are looking forward to a lot. The other little bit of disappointment we had is that we've got Sunny, who's our pet sunset boy, locking with these 2 girls. And again, these are clowns that we bred 4 years ago that are very, very chunky, Lucky and Linnea. But we checked their follicles and she hasn't really moved off 14.
Well, she's gone from 10 to 14.
Oh, she's gone from 10 to 14.
So she's really slow growing.
Well, therefore she is building, Jared. So she's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, she's doing better.
So we may hit a visual clown. That will be 50% hit for sunset. But her sister has gone the other way. She's gone down from, what was she? Was she holding at 12?
She stayed at 12.
She was staying at 12.
She's been at 12 for like 3 months.
So she doesn't seem to want to go, this girl. And it's frustrating, isn't it, when you've got your projects? And a lot of us experience this. You can't force nature, you just got to let go, run with nature. You can provide all the right environment for them to breed, and you can provide the males, but they'll go when they're ready, Jared, at the end of the day. So let's finish the video by actually sharing the final clutches that will be coming out soon to look forward to. And what we've got is we have probably about another, 3 clutches, maybe 4 coming. So the next one coming on the 24th of June, which is only 2 weeks away, Jared, is the blackhead lavender het pieds. And we've got 6 good eggs, so that's something to look forward to in the next 2 weeks. Clutch number 10 is Archie and Moneypenny. They are the hypopied fireflies.
We finally get one?
I think we will, Jared, because we've got 8 good eggs, is it?
Yeah, 8 eggs.
And it's 1 out of 8 to hit one. So if we get lucky, we should hit our first hypopied. So that's something to look forward to. And that's because our odds have got improved since we've had Archie. Archie is a visual fire hypo boy, 100% het for pied. We did a shed test and he's got that. So that means our odds go from 1 out of 16 to 1 out of 8. And now we've got 8 eggs, we're hopeful that we're going to hit a hypopied. And of course we need the hypopied because we want to bring DG and hypo into a lot of our double combinations because they enhance and maintain the colours of these beautiful genetics. So we've basically got 7 or 8 projects running parallel that will feed into each other eventually, and then we'll buy the bridges that we need, like just demonstrated today, the importance of buying bridges, and then we will then accelerate those projects by building our triple hets in the background, ready to go for when we've hit those double visuals, het pieds or het clowns or het ultramels. Then we stand a better chance of then hitting the triples. And I think this is the philosophy and the approach we're taking, and I think it's the right one to do, Jared. You happy with that?
Mm-hmm.
Clutch 11 is going to be really interesting because this is one of our other favourite projects, and maybe we can show people a picture of the end game there. This is our VPI Exantic Clown project, and we've got 8 eggs, is that?
7.
7 eggs. So we should hit 1 out of 16 because it's double het to double het at the moment. If we do hit an Exantic Clown that's got the pastel in it, we'll be jumping for joy because that's a very important building block for the end game, which is the Exantic VPI.
It will definitely have pastel because it's a super, the dad.
Yeah.
And it could be a super pastel.
Yeah.
So here's a pastel VPI Exantic Clown.
Yeah. They are beautiful, and Justin is selling one at the moment without the pastel for $30,000. And I think
This got DG as well.
has it got DG in?
Now
Now
VPI Exantic Clown goes for about 3,000.
have you got one with the DG in? Can you show everyone what? Because the plan is, that's the building block. The plan is to get the DG in and the hypo. And if you look at what that is, Justin's got one on his Morph Market at the moment, Canova, and it's going for $30,000. And it is a very beautiful snake, and it looks very much like the Stormtrooper, which is got the Exantic in. And I forgot to mention on the last couple of videos, we realised that the Stormtrooper, I believe, has a Exantic in it as well, Jared. So
this doesn't even have pastel.
yeah,
There's a VPI Exantic Desert Ghost Clown, no pastel.
beautiful, isn't it? And if you put pastel, it'll only get even brighter than that. But I mean, you can't get much brighter. But the DG will help it to hold its colours as it is and won't fade so much. Because sometimes you can find that the VPI Exantics can go a little bit brown with age. But by putting the pastel in there and by putting in the DG, it helps to hold the original colours of the babies. And that's what we're trying to achieve. So when we went online to find out what the building blocks were for this project, there was very little out there for us, Jared, in terms of buying a building block towards that. And I think if you did buy one, they were $5,000 or $6,000, mainly in America and 1 or 2 in Europe, nothing in the UK. So either the UK breeders are holding on to these for their own projects, which is probably quite likely, or the American market is 2 or 3 years ahead of us, and therefore some of the breeders are now making them available. So on our next planning session, we're going to then look at the building blocks that we need for that particular project, and we'll discuss the strategy for buying in the right building blocks to achieve it, Jared. But when you look at the end game, you get excited about what you can hit. It keeps the momentum of the business going, Jared. It keeps us fired up, thinking we're getting the building blocks, we're moving closer to our end game, starting hitting the doubles, then we can start hitting the trebles, and I think that's where it gets really exciting. And then the final thing, Jared, is on yesterday's video we were saying that we've had our first retained sperm clutch, we believed, from Karamak, who's our Ultramel girl, and we think there could be a third option, Jared, which we can discuss with our viewers. It may well be that the mother herself has passed on 2 sets of genetics to the eggs without anything from the husband, if you like. And they call that clutch, Jared. I think there's a special term for it.
Is it patho?
I think it's
Pathogenetic.
I think they call it a Pathoclutch. And what it is, in the wild, if a female can't find a male, over millions of years of evolution, pathogenesis, the females have learnt how to pass on their genetics to their offspring in the absence of a male. That's how powerful it is. So we may have a pathogenic clutch here. Now, if we bring them out and show you what they look like, this will help us identify what's going on. The fact that we hit 2 Ultramels tells me that it could be a Pathoclutch because the only genes she can pass on are Ultramel, Jared.
And the only gene from the father's Ultramel.
Yeah, although if it's Colt or it might be Randy, Jared, we don't even know whether it's Colt.
Definitely Colt.
Do you think it's Colt?
Yeah, because all the other babies were all Ultramel too.
Right, okay.
We didn't hit any.
So it still could be, you could be right, it could be retained sperm, but the thing that you find with a Pathoclutch is not all of the eggs make it. And we had 6 eggs that were nothing in them at all. So, but these ones here are also quite small, Jared, as well. And you find with Pathoclutches, they can actually go on food, they can be perfectly shaped and formed, but you find because the genetics are coming from one mother, the bloodline is weak, therefore you can get kinking, you can get issues with them. But we'll find out when they come out if they've got kinking or if they've got issues, or if they've got like shark jaw, or if they've got issues that we can see that they're not healthy snakes. The chances are they could be a Pathoclutch. But I do know that some Pathoclutches are successful, and those Pathoclutches go on to breed even. So it's not a complete write-off, but I think we've got to keep an open mind that we may have a Pathoclutch here, Jared. So that's something new for the newcomers to the industry that may not have heard of that before, but it's quite a miraculous thing that a female can produce her own babies without a male. I don't think it applies to the humans though, Jared. I don't know of any woman that's been able to do that.
No idea.
Yeah.
I don't know of it personally.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean it's something very unique, I think, to snakes, and perhaps other animals can do it. But I think it's a survival instinct. Maybe there's just too many men about on the earth for women to evolve pathogenetic children for themselves. But anyway, it's been quite a science lesson for us today, and it's been a really interesting one on the business front of how we can go about building our projects successfully and viably with the right finances. And you don't need to break the bank to do this, you just need to be wise with your decisions, look at the auctions, look at the deals, look what's going out there. It's never a better time to get into these projects. Breeders are being very generous.
Don't be afraid to offer.
Sorry?
Don't be afraid to offer.
Don't be afraid to offer. Obviously, if someone's giving you a good deal, be kind and don't try to bring it down.
Don't lowball, be respectful.
Yeah, I think it's important when someone comes in and they are pitching at the right price to be fair to them as well and actually pay the price that they're looking for if they've given it to you at a good price to start with. But I think that'll about wrap it up, Jad. Is there anything else on your side?
Nope.
Right, so I think that's all for now. You're going to get some extra content from us this week. Thank you so much for your love and support. The subscribers are going up. We're rising in the number of subscribers on our channel, and we're very grateful for the love and support you give us, and we look forward to catching up with you on the next video. Have a lovely week and see you soon. Bye for now.